This video is a presentation of Eleuthera Foundation Centre for Training and Innovation, or CTI project. It shows the results of the participation of our team members in the September 2016 Project Management for Results course, sponsored by the Inter-American Development Bank. My name is Audrey Carey, and I am the project manager for CTI.
I'm Errol McPhee, CEO for CTI.
I am Susan Culmer, Financial Officer at CTI.
I am Sean Ingram, CEO of the Eleuthera Foundation.
My name is Jacinta Gordon, Development and Communication Officer for the Eleuthera Foundation.
Together, we make up Group Cafe, located in Eleuthera, Bahamas.
Eleuthera is located 50 miles east of the nation's capital, New Providence, with a population of 11,000 people. The island is 110 miles long and about 2 miles wide in some places.
The Bahamas faces several socioeconomic problems which include illiteracy, unemployment, and poverty. Nearly 50% of seniors at public schools in the Bahamas do not meet the requirements to graduate. Unemployment is estimated to be as high as 70% in some areas of Eleuthera, and poverty on Eleuthera is about 20%. We need a holistic solution that would address the root causes of these issues. This resulted in the birth of CTI.
The objectives of CTI are to provide quality post-secondary education and training on Eleuthera, and to decrease unemployment through innovation on the island of Eleuthera.
CTI offers programs to trainees that improve English language and mathematical skills, teach construction skills that are relevant to the needs of the local economy, that is, masonry, carpentry, plumbing, electrical, landscaping, culinary, and others. Provide soft and life skills training. Promote values of honesty, thriftiness, respect, diligence, generosity, service, and accomplishment. In the coming months, we will roll out the innovation component of CTI. This will connect CTI trainees to existing employment opportunities, provide or direct trainees and members of the public to the resources they need to become entrepreneurs or expand their existing business. Establish or nurture social enterprises that will create job opportunities for trainees and the wider public.
Through the PM4R course, we were able to learn valuable project management tools and techniques that will help us to further develop and effectively manage our CTI project. Here is a glimpse into the progress through this course. Before this course, we did not use any formal project management tools. Although we did have internal processes that we used to identify stakeholders, build budgets, determine work to be done, and establish timelines for completion of that work, we know that improving existing tools and utilizing those we have not used in the past can help us to improve our project operation and outcomes and increase access to funding and investments.
The work breakdown structure allows the project team to thoroughly determine the activities that need to occur in order to meet project deliverables and accomplish project objectives. The WBS is used as a daily work tool. When used properly, it can produce specific, measurable, achievable, and timely results. During our process of creating the WBS, our team broke down the activities of our final objective into components, outputs, deliverables, and work packages. Our objective is to provide post-secondary education and training and decrease unemployment through innovation on Eleuthera. For the purposes of this project, we focused on one component, which is post-secondary education. The outputs of this component include program and curricular development, student enrollment, and personnel selection and training. Completing the WBS helped us to identify activities that would have otherwise been omitted, which would have resulted in additional time and costs spent to complete our project.
The project schedule puts the deliverables determined in the work breakdown structure on a timeline in logical sequence which shows which each items will start and end. Additionally, it determines the critical path, which is the longest sequence of activities and has no room for projects project delay. To create our schedule, we use Microsoft Project, a project management software that assisted us in developing a network chart and a Gantt chart. 2. Our process for developing the project schedule consisted of determining durations using the expert opinion estimation technique. 3. In determining the logical sequence of activities, approximately 7% of the dependencies between activities were mandatory. The most common type of dependency identified was finish to start. This type of dependency is contingent on the finishing the previous activity in order to start the next. 4. We were able to identify activities that could be fast-tracked. For instance, call for enrollment and application for enrollment can occur parallel to each other without affecting costs. 5. The schedule also allowed us to identify the critical path. This helped us determine the longest duration of activities in order to complete our project. We know this path has no room for delays.
The Resource Utilization Curve, or S-curve, is a financial strategy which is used to control project costs and is depicted in the form of a graph. In our process of developing our S-curve, we first created budgets using the rate estimating technique. This was performed using the bottom-up approach, which builds a budget starting from the activity level. Through this, we were able to identify costs that were not accounted for. For example, we needed a consultant trainer to train newly hired instructors for CTI. This process enabled us to classify costs in our project budget, which are fixed, variable, direct, and indirect. For instance, an example of fixed costs in our budget is rent for meetings and training. Additionally, we realized the need to assign budget for contingencies to facilitate the unexpected increase in project costs, which is very likely to occur in a project with a construction renovation component. Next, we broke out project costs per activity. Then we calculated the cost of the project per month. When we originally created our S-curve, we used costs per month, which skewed the results of our curve. Our instructor, Philippe, assisted us with correcting this. The S-curve was then created based on our cumulative costs per month.
The Procurement Matrix manages the contractual arrangements for goods and services required during the project. It also classifies the type of procurement needed to complete the deliverables identified in the WBS. To create our Procurement Matrix, we completed a list of services and goods we need to procure, determined the procurement systems we will use, which were price comparison, direct contracting, and direct administration, and calculated an estimated budget. When identifying procurement types, we discovered that most activities require both goods and services. In everything we do, there is some form of risk, whether known or unknown. The risk matrix identifies circumstances that could positively or negatively affect our project and how to address them if they occur. Our team identified risk by using the brainstorming technique. The risk matrix helped us to determine the possible impact these risks could have on our project, identify the symptoms of these risks, the probability of the risk occurring, how to address the risk if they occurred, and who would be responsible for taking action. The strategies we utilize to mitigate negative risk are avoiding, transferring, mitigating, and accepting. Positive risk will be mitigated through exploiting, enhancing, sharing, and accepting techniques. This exercise also allowed us to identify an important role missing from our project management team, which was the human resources expert. This was added to our project charter. Additionally, our team usually focused on negative risk. Through the use of the risk matrix tool, it has encouraged us to also explore positive risk.
The communication matrix identifies the needs and interests of stakeholders for any project. The stakeholder matrix and schedule are very important inputs for completing the communications matrix. This tool helped us to determine what we needed to communicate, the method of communication, who was responsible for preparation and delivery of communication, when communication should take place, and how often. In completing the communications matrix, we realized the importance of engaging stakeholders before, during, and after the project. When completing the communications matrix, we realized that a few stakeholders were not identified during the stakeholder analysis. This prompted us to add the missing stakeholders. For example, schools are an important stakeholder we have to communicate with because they have students that can transition into the CTI program.
The responsibility matrix clearly shows who will be responsible for completing the various deliverables outlined in the work breakdown structure. Using the RACI matrix format, we created a complete visual that clearly identified the roles and responsibilities of the project team and other stakeholders. We are currently using this tool to better define the roles and responsibilities of team members and other project stakeholders. Before using this tool, we encountered instances of team members who were not able to find their role due to lack of expertise and training. Additionally, multiple people were given the responsibility for the same project activities. This tool definitely helps you to ensure that the most efficient, effective person is in the correct role and work is not duplicated.
The past several weeks has been an amazing journey for our team.
We learned that the 7 project tools studied will allow us to manage our project constraints, including time, cost, and scope of work, and achieve our project objectives.
All of our team members are very excited. We have already begun to implement the 7 tools taught during this course.
We would like to say thanks to the IDB for affording us the opportunity to participate in a course that we can truly say has built our capacity and has better equipped us to plan and manage projects.
And Felipe Shapiro, our instructor, for his guidance and wealth of knowledge during this course.
Finally, we say thanks and congratulations to the other groups for their participation and for successfully completing this project management for result training course.